Thanks for visiting the patient and the weather. Today I'm meteorologist Al Peterlin. I'd like to talk about the weather health stresses for June 14th, 2026. We do keep additional graphics at tpatw.com. We also maintain a storefront on Amazon. Looking at the surface map for Sunday, we have one major weather system stretching all the way from the northern extremes of upstate New York, across central Pennsylvania, through Martinsburg, West Virginia, back down through Nashville, cutting on back through northern Louisiana toward Austin, and then all the way back to West Texas, Midland, and on up into the Four Corners. Note, lots of activity, again developing across the Four Corners, very monsoon-like, and then unsettled weather across all of the south and up the eastern seaboard, really from the Appalachians east. Looking at our vitality index, which is the composite or that combined element of where the individual weather elements may have an impact on health. And you can see we are seeing some activity bubbling up here in the Four Corners, but the real focus of activity runs from the Texas Panhandle across Oklahoma into Kansas, and then east on into northern Missouri and Iowa. Note that we do have something going on here in southern Michigan. Looking at pressure change, because pressure change does impact quite a lot of people, and we have rising pressure from eastern New Mexico across the Texas Panhandle, Oklahoma, Kansas, into Iowa and Missouri. But we do have falling pressure here from Maryland into Pennsylvania and across upstate New York, and just touching on in the northernmost reaches of New England. Temperature change will be a little bit more interesting as we're seeing significant change behind that frontal system, lots of cooler air, and really cool back here in the southern plains into the middle plains, and trying to just touch part of the Four Corners. Note a little bit of warming here from Montana across to northern Minnesota. The change in dew point temperature is also more significant. Note that we have the falling dew point temperatures here behind the frontal system, but note the rising dew point temperatures, the rising vapor pressure back into sort of developing in the monsoon. Note that we still do have that high increased vapor pressure hanging just to the east of that frontal system as it's moving east. Instability is a bit more settled, but we still do have instability across Missouri, really into southern Illinois, and note that we're now showing some instability here across the state of Florida. Looking at the change in oxygen availability, you can see that we have spotty migraine risk in the Four Corners, but it becomes a more significant migraine risk from the Texas Panhandle across Olive, Oklahoma, and through Kansas to southern Nebraska. It then continues on east from Arkansas up to Iowa, jumping across Tennessee, Kentucky, and then most of the Ohio Valley, Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, and to northwestern Pennsylvania and New York, upstate New York, but trying to grab across Michigan and the lower portions of Wisconsin. Note that we have an asthma and arthritis stress from Washington State across Montana, North Dakota into northern Minnesota and northern Wisconsin. Interesting, we have another area of asthma arthritis stress here across the state of South Carolina, and looks like it's trying to hold on to just a touch right on the easternmost shores of North Carolina. Thanks for visiting the patient and the weather. Your comments are appreciated, and if you hurt, tell us where you're located.